Poor Uncle Potluck. Him and that knee that he has. And old Maddie May, all she was doing was trying to help. Uncle Potluck fell in the dark and he busted up that knee. And it's all Maddie's fault. Chapter 21, page 90. Let's see what happens. This is what Principal Bonet says. She says, you can't have brave without scared. They are in the Boone County Hospital waiting room. Uncle Potluck is in the exam room. Mama's upstairs at her job on the 7th floor, but will come down as soon as she can. Principal Bonet is on her cell phone calling the district office, telling them about Uncle Potluck and how he's scheduled for knee surgery next week and how she'll need a substitute custodian. Yes, I know this was scheduled for after the holidays. Things got moved around, she says. And Maddie's just sitting there, holding her notebook to her belly like that might stop the twisting in it. It's her fault Principal Monet needs a substitute. It's her fault Uncle Potluck got hurt. Her fault. All of it. Maddie tries not thinking about it. About the crash and the thud. About the hooting sound Uncle Potluck made hopping to the hospital wheelchair. Tries not to think about how she said, sorry, sorry, sorry. And Uncle Potluck said, no, not to worry. But how he said that low, quiet, his eyes scrunched and wet. There's a judge show on in the waiting room, TV. The sound's off, but the words that tell what the judge is saying slip across the bottom of the screen. Sometimes they're spelled wrong, those words. What were you thinking? It might say, but then right next to the word follows after it, making the correction. Thinking follows thinking, consequences after consequences. He does not want to think about consequences or even conferences. Like how the consequence of worrying all night about somebody reading your notebook might be that you are tired and stupid and make mistakes. Like the consequence of even talking to some teenage looking girl might be that all your plans get ruined. Like the consequence of being such a baby is that someone you care about. Maddie looks around the room for something else to think about, lands her eyes on Principal Bonet's keychain. There's a picture frame on it with a photo of a lady and a goat inside. It's me on Matthew's Peak, Principal Bonet says. She's done with her cell phone call. It was my first serious climb. It's 4,000 feet up. 4,000 feet up. Maddie tries imagining herself standing on a cliff 4,000 feet up. Tries seeing herself smiling mountaintop, proud like Principal Monet in the picture. But she can't. You were brave, Maddie says. I'd be scared. That's when Principal Bonet said it. You can't have brave without scared. This guy here, she says, tapping her fingernail on the goat. He's not scared. He's not brave. He's a goat, going about his goat business. A boy and his mom came through the waiting room and his arms pressed tight to his chest like he knows better than to move it. Brave, Mandy whispers. Principal Lene shrugs. Maybe, she says. What's scary for one person might be easy for another. Could be that boy's a mountain goat of broken arms. Maddie wants to laugh. I mean, it's funny what Principal Bonet said. It's true, too. If you're scared of hospitals, it's brave to go to one, Maddie whispers to herself, but Principal Bonet hears, says, otherwise it's walk in the park. Unless you're afraid of unless you're afraid of parks, Maddie says. Principal Bonet has a tinkly laugh, like wind chimes. I guess you're right. If you're scared of parks, it can be brave to walk in one. If you're scared of dogs, it can be brave to pet one. If you're scared of heights, it can be brave to climb. A commercial flashes on the TV. A boy and a girl eating popsicles. Though the screen words say pumpsicles. If you're afraid of popsicles, it can be brave to eat one, she says. Afraid of popsicles? Now this time Maddie does laugh. I'm sure nobody out there in the world is afraid of I'm sure somebody out there in the world is afraid of popsicles. For her, eating a popsicle is like an act of great courage. For the rest of us, it's just sucking on frozen juice. Principal Bonet holds the key ring up again for Maddie to see. You know, I didn't just decide that day to go climb a mountain. First, I took classes, and then I climbed hills and small peaks and practice runs. And each time, Maddie, I had to do a small, brave thing. The waiting room doors whoosh open, and three plump ladies come in. She'll be fine, Alice, one of them says. You'll see. A small, brave thing. Maddie wonders what that would look like for a popsicle person. Well, just maybe looking at a box of popsicles at the grocery store and then buying it, then maybe just opening it up. Now, with mountain climbing, there's at least a class to take, a teacher to tell you what to do next. What if what you were afraid of didn't have a class for it? What if you weren't even sure exactly what you were afraid of? How would you know what small, brave thing to do first? Chapter 22, page 95. It's raspberry Maddie popsicle. Now, Mama got it at the Biggie's Mini Mart on the way home from the hospital. Uncle Potluck had said that they should go on with the corn feast. And Mama needed a few things for supper and had asked Maddie if there was anything that she wanted. Yeah, I want for Uncle Potluck to be okay, and for me to be a custodial apprentice, and Quincy Sweet to disappear off the face of the earth, Maddie thought. Popsicles, that's what she said. Maddie's popsicle is the kind with two sticks, the kind you could break in half and share with somebody else. But Uncle Potluck is hat down asleep in the back seat now, and Mama says no thanks. So all the way home, Maddie sucks on her two-handled popsicle. Wonders what it would be like to be brave. You're dripping, Mama says. Maddie grabs a tissue from the glove box. Sorry, she says in the car to the car seat. There's a popsicle juice on her fingers, and she wipes that too, but the raspberry color stays on. Is there something you want to talk about? There is not. Mama turns the car up the long gravel drive, and Maddie keeps her eyes on Crystal Sweet's house, watching the windows, watching the curtains, watching all the way up the driveway. Nobody peeks through the window. Looks like somebody's been waiting for you, says Mama. Up on the rise in the shade of the apple tree, Quincy Sweet is sitting at the rock, drawing. Her bag papers are spread out, her toolbox open. Like the rock's hers. Like she's taken over. Maddie drops her popsicle stick to the grocery bag, pushes the car door open wide. Want to bring Quincy a popsicle? Asked Mama, but Maddie pretends she does not hear. She's going to be brave. She'll be brave, and she will tell Quincy that rock is hers. She will tell Quincy Sweet to move. Through the grass, around the garden, and past the stone rabbit. This is my place. In her head, her voice is strong. This is my place. Up the rise and past the friend tent, into the rock ledge, where Quincy had taken up every bit of room with her papers and her pastels and her wide open toolbox. This is my place. You're in my place, Maddie says, comes out loud. It surprises her. Quincy looks up. She squints. Maddie squints back. Move, she thinks to say. But she doesn't need to say it. Quincy's already stacking her papers, sliding her toolbox over to the far side of the rock. Is that enough room? Quincy asked. Are you going to write some of your stories? I'm just... Maddie feels whatever brave she had sliding out of the bottom of her shoes. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. Down at the house, Mama's calling. Quincy, do you want a popsicle? Quincy stands. Sure, she calls back. You want one? She asked Maddie. Quincy's like just plump, calm as ever. Like sucking frozen juice. No, says Maddie. I'm fine. And, well, Maddie is fine, she tells herself so. She is fine. I mean, maybe not brave and maybe not mountaintoppy, but she's fine. And she stays fine until Quincy comes back up the hill, popsicle in one hand, Maddie's notebook in the other. Your mom gave me this to bring to you. Quincy drops the notebook to the rock where it falls open. A breeze pushes the pages over one after another, and Maddie sees the word wipe clean hazard. Couldn't alone mow. There's a crashing sound in Maddie's ears. Crashing like Uncle Potluck's crashing, falling, alone, dark, mow. Quincy puts her hand down on a page, looks at what's there, pretends Maddie thinks like she has not read it before. How come you wrote Mo all sad like that? Quincy asks. How come you read my notebook? Maddie wants to say. But those are not the words that come out. Because it's true. If it's not true, a button isn't scared in real life. It's plastic. It doesn't have feelings. Maddie wants to say, I know. She wants to say, I know. And I have to go now. And she wants to say, goodbye. But she says none of those things. And she does not leave. Quincy bites the top off of her popsicle. I mean, you made it up. You made Mo feel all scared. How come he's not fighting monsters or having adventures or something? You should write about that. Plunk, 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 plunk. It'd be better. Quincy keeps talking, keeps plunking out about how if she were a writer, that's what she'd do. She'd write Mo, big old brave adventure. Maddie watches Quincy scrape the last lump of popsicle off of its stick. But I'm not a writer, I'm an artist. Plunk. Draw it, then, Maddie thinks. And the words come out, well, you should draw it then. I can't, says Quincy. I only draw real stuff. She sounds less plunky. Disappointed, maybe. I have to see it to draw it. You could try, says Maddie. So could you. I know. I have to go now. Bye. Maddie sees the empty popsicle stick in Quincy's hand. Okay, she says. Okay. Maddie nods, open her notebook to the doorknob page, flips it. Okay. Quincy opens her toolbox. She pinches out a pencil. She kneels on the grass, stacking her pages on her lap. She looks all crunched up, like a ball of trash paper. You can put your papers up here. There is room for both of us, says Maddie. Yeah? Yeah. Quincy sets her pages on the rock. Mo having adventures, fighting monsters. How do you start a story like that? All right, I'll read one more chapter, and then you guys could read chapter 24 on your own. Chapter 23, The Adventures of Mo, written by Maddie Breen. Mo was in the washing machine, but he wasn't scared. He was going to have adventures. He was going to Mo, Hero of Washing Machine, by Maddie Breen. Mo was the toughest button in all Laundryville. Now, Laundryville was full of lost nickels, buttons, bobby pins, gum wrappers, grocery lists, barrettes, small rocks, rubber bands, popsicle sticks, and Mo versus the Lint by Maddie Breen. Everyone feared the lint. It was hairy. It was stuck to things. And all the lost items of Laundryville had a hard time sleeping because they were afraid that lint would sneak up on them in the night and swallow them. Mo the button mouse was afraid too, but he was tired of not sleeping, so he decided to fight back. Mo found a bobby pin. This will be my sword, he said. And then he what? Asked Quincy. I don't know, said Maddie, looking up from the page. Quincy's bag paper is covered with scribble over and cross outs, and he didn't draw anything. I need a model, Quincy sighs. Wish I knew where to find a mouse with a bobby pin sword. Here, she hands Maddie a stick. Stand like a brave mouse. Maddie stands, she holds the stick. She tries to imagine herself mouse-like and brave. That's not right, said Quincy. And she circles Maddie, tilting her head, staring at her. Maddie wants to shrink the button size, wishes maybe she was lost in a washing machine somewhere. Try poking the stick out, says Quincy. Pretend like you're fighting off the lint. Maddie lifts her arms. I would not fight off the lint, she thinks. I would drop this heavy stick and I'd run. Lean into it. Bend. So Maddie bends. Not like that. Not folded over. Bend your knees, you lunge. Maddie tries to lunge. Like this, says Quincy. Sharp. She picks up a stick of her own, thrusts it at Maddie. Get out of here, you lint, she yells. I'm not the lint, says Maddie. She says it quiet, but firm. I'm Mo. Oh, yeah, says Quincy. She hops closer. Her sword just inches from Maddie's chest. Too close. Maddie smacks Quincy's sword away with her own thwack. She feels it vibrate in her hand. Quincy squints. Okay, you're Mo. I'm the lint. She swings her stick back at Maddie's. Whack. Maddie does not think. She whacks back. Take that, you lint. How about I'm good, lint? Quincy squints again. Like I ran away from the lint monster and joined forces with you, and now we're off to fight him. Maddie can still feel the string in her, or the sting in her palm from that last whack. It'd be good to have Quincy on her side. There he is! Quincy points beyond Maddie, runs sword high to the edge of the trees. Maddie runs too, swift and brave, up to stout oak covered in mouse, her heart pounding. Take that! Thwack! A chunk of moss sails through the air. And that! Hollers Quincy. Maddie turns. Moss has sprung up on every rock and tree and limb, reaching out to grab them, reaching out. Look out, lint girl! I see it. Quincy spins her sword, cutting fiercely through the air. Whack! The evil lint is everywhere. Mo's brave. Whack! Whack! Mo, over here! Lint girl is snagged on a washing machine coil. I'll save you! Mo runs hard and fast, leaping over soap puddles and climbing up water pipes. Lint girl's cape is caught tight in the old machinery's rusty spiral. Pull me out, she cries. Mo pulls, but the cape will not budge. Mo needs to use both hands, but to do so will mean setting down the sword. What if the evil lint monster finds them? And worse, what if this is a trick? What if Lint Girl hasn't really turned good? Please, cried Lint Girl. There's no time to worry, no time to think. Mo drops the bobby pin sword and pulls one by one. The strong threads of Lint Girl's cape snap until finally she's free. Let's get out of here. Mo grabs the sword with one hand and Lint Girl's hand with the other. Run! Over again through coils and wires under pipes and round tubes they've run, hearts pounding, panting, running until they crash safe inside their soap dispenser home. All right. Now, what I would like for you guys to do is I'd like for you to read page 106 to 108 until chapter 25. I know it's hard, but it's like 2.5 pages, not even. So read, and then you guys can answer some questions. All right, what is going to happen with Maddie and Quincy and Mama and Uncle Potluck? We'll see.